Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. All right, y'all. So I just got done watching this interview with Jason Burgos. He sat down and did an interview with former strawweight champion Joanna. Sat down and did an interview with her for about a half an hour, and they talked about different things like her career, the Rose fight a little bit, Kayla Harrison, Valentina, just a few different things they talked about in half an hour. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is her quest for a title shot, her career right now, and just the mention of strong strawweight contenders Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez and the possibilities of her fighting them. So I went back and watched a little 4-minute segment again, and I was just kind of studying Joanna and her direction right now as far as what she said. And to me, just looking at her and her body language and how she answers some of these questions, she doesn't really show like a big interest as far as climbing the ladder anymore and just winning the title. Like, I know it's not about Mackenzie Dern or Marina Rodriguez, but it doesn't really seem like it's about the title at this point. Maybe it is just to get that second, just to get that title on your record a second time on your legacy. Maybe it is, but to me, it just really seems like it's about the money for Joanna at this point. I mean, there's just a lot of keywords that she used in this 4-minute segment about Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez. I mean, keywords, big things. Something I heard her mention a lot of, big things, success, not having to prove anything at this point, being the greatest. She's just feeling like she's on another level at this point where I don't even think that if she wins the belt, she's going to really want to keep it at this point. And that's something I want to talk about as far as, where she's going. But I just want to cover some other points because in the 4 minutes, she said a lot, in my opinion. First off, when the interview with Burgos, he mentioned Dern and Rodriguez, she was kind of like yes and no. Like, she just kind of had this look like, like, if I have to, I have to. But if I have my way, no. That was kind of her answer, because she said that she doesn't have to prove anything at this point. Even through a loss, she feels like she's the greatest, and these other fights are smaller, and she still did enough to win a title shot, and like I said, she just feels like she needs to move on to bigger things. But that was just some like key words, like she kept saying, like, though you're on like this 2-4 record, you still feel like you need to move on and do these big things and make big business deals, and she just feels like that's the only time she can fight at 100%. And other things she just said was like, Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez, they're lower ranked fighters that if these type of fighters just continue to call her out, they want to use her as a stepping stone. And again, just not showing any interest in those fights because she's looking for success. But that's something I'll talk about here in a minute. Just going back up, like her feeling like she doesn't have to prove anything at this point to anyone, it's really not about that. It's not about that. I understand that it's not about proving it to fans at this point. But if you're in the ranking system, if the UFC ranking system, to me, you have to continue to renew that spot, okay? If you're number 2 and someone else is in line to fight for the title, you still have to renew that spot, in my opinion, especially if you've been out for a year. So it's not proving anything to us. It's just continuing to hold down your spot in the UFC strawweight rankings. While active fighters keep their rank and fight for title eliminators, you fight a contender in the meantime after a year layoff. That's only fair, right? I mean, what if Rose chooses to rematch Weili? Then what? What if she chooses to fight Weili instead of fighting Jan or Carla? I mean, Rose has her choice right now. She has a few choices to go from, but she could choose to take those and shake it up. So in the meantime, you have to do something else, because pretty soon you'll be coming up on 2 years since you've been in the octagon, and then you might get knocked out of the rankings completely, right? I mean, and the one thing she says, like, she fought hard enough in the Zhang Weili fight, even though it was a loss, to guarantee a title shot. Look, it was a close fight, action-packed, but that doesn't prove a great deal. That just proves that you're tough and you know how to put on a good fight. You're an exciting fighter, And from there, you still have to, once again, prove yourself. You have to prove yourself with a win. Coming off a 2-4 record just doesn't guarantee, even if they are competitive fights. You know what I mean? You still have to go back and do what everybody else is doing. Humble yourself, fight your way back up, not from the bottom, but just go back in and fight your way up. And really, man, like I said, I feel like that the main focus at this point really for Joanna is money now, which makes sense. I mean, if she's about done, I know she's really looking for an end game. She's looking for that end game because, like I said, there's a lot of keywords in there like big things and success and just being motivated for the bigger fights. And the fights with Dern and Rodriguez don't lead to what she's wanting, which at this point looks like just one more fight for the title, money, and the whole, just to hold that title the second time and tie with Rose is all she wants. You know, that's pretty much all she wants at this point, because, you know, even in the past, she said it before, like, training was hard. She was beating her body up, and she wants to have kids one day, so she can't do these two or three fights a year anymore. But you at least got to take one. You at least got to take one, because the champ might be tied up, like I said. I mean, I don't think, you know, overall, like, Dana White is going to let that sit, you know. Another point I just want to bring up, too, from hearing her talk, I don't think that she's as in love with the fight game anymore. I don't really think she's in love with that fight part anymore, you know, because like I said, even if it was going to take one title eliminator to get her to the title shot, it doesn't even seem like that one fight could motivate her. Like, a Mackenzie Dern fight, that would be a big fight, because she mentioned it herself. You know, Mackenzie Dern's a jiu-jitsu legend that came over to the game, came into the sport of mixed martial arts. That would be a good win. Then you got another solid fighter that's very solid contender with good names on the resume, Marina Rodriguez, that would bring exciting style, you know, bring exciting fight style-wise. You know, you seem like you would be jumping on those fights, because if you win, get a solid win over those fighters, it would definitely put you back in the mix. But she didn't even seem motivated for that at this point. And my thing is, look, I know that she's looking for business, and the fight game is business too, but it's still the fight game. It's not corporate America. It's not a corporate job. You still have to get your hands dirty and humble yourself at times, because while you're gone, other fighters are getting promoted. They're getting promoted by winning. You know, you just can't say, all right, I fought hard enough. I fought hard enough this time around. I didn't get the win, but I can still come back and get another title shot. How would that make everybody else feel? You know, you coming off of losses, and then every time you come back and say, oh, my spot's still held, give me that, I get another title shot before you. You know, that just doesn't seem right. That's why I say fight game, it is business, but it's still the fight game. You have to get your hands dirty every now and then. I know Joanna, she gets down and dirty, but it seems like she doesn't even want to do a little bit of the work no more to get back into the title shot realm. But I mean, when you think about it though, all might not be lost, because she did say that she will fight Dern or Rodriguez. She don't know what could happen. You know, meaning the UFC might put her in there with one of them if they're thinking logical. You know, when it comes down to it, like I said, she said yes and no at the beginning, and then by the end, she just kind of seemed like, I don't know what'll happen. You know what I mean? She kind of threw that out there, because she knows that the logical thing the UFC probably will do is put her in there with one of those fighters. So she might be headline the main event against Dern or Rodriguez. You never know. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got on this one. Like I said, I just want to kind of go back and revisit that little 4-minute segment about Joanna and these strawweight contenders, because to me, they're good fights. They're meaningful fights. I'm not saying she has to fight off both of them, or like 3 or 4 fights. I just want to see her show like a comeback fight, just to kind of build herself up and kind of build her want up, you know, her demand up, because coming off a loss after a year, people have moved on. Let's be real. You know, I know she thinks she's the greatest of all time, but hey, this isn't the Ali legacy. You know what I mean? This ain't a Mayweather legacy. Hell, this ain't even a McGregor legacy. You know what I mean? So you still got to go back and prove yourself even with one fight. Again, too, don't forget Robert Whitaker humbled himself. 3 wins in a row right now, right? But he still hadn't got a title shot, you know, so he's staying in it though. I just feel like Joanna at this point, she really is just looking for money. I mean, what do y'all guys think? Let me know. Do you think she's even looking to keep the belt for a spell? You know, she looking to keep the belt if she wins it for a spell, or she just really looking for that cash out, the end game? Guys, let me know. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.